It has been a tough decade for the public schools, and COVID took already stagnant test scores and a persistent achievement gap and made them worse, with no real sign that those trends can be reversed anytime soon. So, is it time to say thanks but goodbye to two-term Superintendent of Schools Chris Reykdal? Or is what has happened beyond any single person's control, making challenger David Olson's bid a bit of a moot point? That's the question for voters as we start election coverage on this back-to-school edition of Northwest Now. State Superintendent of Schools was never a very controversial job. It might have even been described as perhaps a little boring. But these days, the schools are on the front lines of the culture wars, and on top of that, haven't really been able to demonstrate substantial improvement in objective test results despite robust increases in funding. That has led to declining enrollments, budget shortfalls, and concerns about how much money is really able to trickle through administrators and teachers and down to students. Steve Kiggins now with more on the 24-25 school year.
Seattle Public Schools says it had to slash more than $90 million between the 2023 and 2025 years just to keep the budget balanced. But the district also managed to keep open, at least for now, a number of elementary schools that had been slated to be closed due to low enrollment. Now, students will return to campus this week, and Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell says the city and the district will spend millions on mental health and gun violence prevention.
They've been here through the gun violence. They protected me. They protected my brothers. Even though I've lost them, Amar Murphy Payne, that was my cousin.
Rainier Beach High School senior Ray Proctor Jr. shares how community violence interventionists at school helped after losing a loved one to gun violence outside Garfield High School earlier this year. Shootings outside Garfield injured others this past spring and last fall, and the toll weighs on school leadership.
I want to take a moment of silence for Ebenezer Hiley, Amar Murphy Payne, Xavier Landry, Jay Shauna Hollingsworth, Connor Dassa Holling, Elijah Lewis, and all our students we have lost to gun violence.
During a media conference in mid-August, Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell announced more than $14 million more to pay for enhanced security, gun violence interventions, and more.
This is in addition to the nearly $37 million investment that we are currently making in violence interruption and community-based organizations designing to address the root causes of violence.
They're dealing with more stress and violence and mental health issues than kids maybe have ever had to deal with before.
The increased funds add roles for care coordinators and counselors at 21 Seattle campuses, including options for telehealth. The Washington State Department of Health 2023 Healthy Youth Survey revealed improving outcomes over recent years, but says 30% of 10th graders reported feeling persistently depressed. Mayor Harrell said Seattle Police will increase visibility around campuses and insists partnerships with community interventionists bolsters a system focused on prevention and helps families victimized by gun violence.
In my tenure, I've buried 38 young people who looked me in my face and had faith that I was going to be able to spare them from the casket. I am both emotionally moved, appreciative, but then also motivated every time that I see one of our young people's lives cut short.
In Seattle, Steve Kiggins, Northwest Now.